In this episode we will talk about trading and matchups. So in this game I'm playing Invoker against Ember. It's a range versus melee matchup, and well, basically the idea as a range hero against melee heroes usually is that you have to play as the aggressor because you have to harass them out of the lane. Because they have higher damage, they have a better base attack time, and they have the Quelling Blade that range heroes cannot really use, or they can, but it doesn't give as much. So usually what you do is you try to harass them, make them use money on regen, so you can basically, even if you have last hits than them, you might still have the net worth advantage because they use a lot of money on regen. So you harass them, they have to go back, then you get the last hit for free. Otherwise, if you just try to play the last hit fighting, like last hit war, then you're gonna fall behind almost in all the games, unless you're just better than the enemy. So that's just yeah, that's it. So if you don't bully them out of the lane, usually what ends up happening is that they outlasted you, you fall behind on gold. Yeah, you're gonna lose the lane if you don't bully them. So yeah, of course, depending on the hero you play, this game I'm Invoker against the Ember Spirit. First level, there's no spells I can use. Cold Snap doesn't do anything, so I decide not to use it at all. So I'm just waiting to get my level 2, so I get the Tornado. So once you get level 2, it's very important how you use the Tornado, basically, because it's the only spell you have, it's the only tool you can last it easily. So what you want to try to do is keep harassing the enemy mid laner. You don't have to focus on lasting the creeps because you have the Tornado ready, and try to get at least 2 lasted with the Tornado at the same time harassing the enemy hero with it. So always be efficient the way you cast your spells. In this game I can have a very huge value with the Tornado at level 2 because he has the Flame Guard. I can remove it with the Tornado. At the same time I can get lasted with it and harass the enemy. So it has a lot of value, or it can be very useless if I just use it to get 1 last hit. It doesn't really do much. So have to be very efficient how you cast your spells. Always try to harass the enemy while you get lasted with spells. Like if you play Lina, Queen of Pain, these heroes, they're very good examples. You use your Lina, the Dragon Slave, you use it to get last hit and harass the enemy. So you have to be mindful of your spell casting. So let's go into a replay when I play melee against a range hero. So this game I'm playing Tiny against the Storm Spirit. So I mean, it's very different from the previous game. I was Invoker against Ember. So this game I have to have a very different approach. How do I go in the lane? So first of all, melee heroes nowadays they have the Freestyle Shield. It's very good for all the mid melee heroes. It's like basically free 200 gold and no item slot. So it's a big buff to all mid heroes, melee mid heroes. So first of all, going to the lane as a melee hero. Obviously, block is very crucial for melee heroes because if you end up playing on his high ground, it's so easy for him to keep harassing you, and you are not gonna get any last hits because you have to just run out of the lane all the time because of that. So very crucial. Try to get the block on your high ground if you can, or at least in the reverse, so then you can pull the wave with the creep aggro, get it to your high ground, and yeah, keep abusing that. Like you have to abuse the creep pull. Then it should be easy to last hit as a melee hero. You have the Quelling Blade. This game has a Tiny. Tiny has 65 damage plus the Quelling Blade. That's like 80 damage. So getting last hits is quite easy. So as a melee hero, the only thing you really have to think about is trying to get the wave to your high ground so you can last it for free. Like the only thing the enemy can really do is try to harass you. And yeah, if you negate that by getting it to your high ground and keep making the lane, once you get it to your high ground, you can push it, then it's gonna push into his tower, and then it's gonna end up again on your high ground. So that's something you should use to your advantage as a melee hero. Don't keep the lane static, make it like go to your tower, then his tower, and then back to your tower. That's the best way you can get last hits and don't get harassed too much. So going into this game, so basically as a melee hero, your game plan is usually very different from range hero. So you want to get most out of the lane, you want to get your levels, you want to get your farm. Like as a melee hero, you don't usually go through your lane thinking that you're gonna dominate the lane very hard. Of course, sometimes it happens. As a Tiny, it can happen. As an Ember, it can happen. But usually, you end up just trading farm with the enemy mid laner. So get the most out of it. I play some mid ward here. Get the rune ward. As a Tiny, very important to have a rune ward. So I end up just putting a rune ward at the start of the game already. So I don't have to think about it later. And then, I mean, it's also important for range heroes, but most very important for melee heroes especially is keep in mind about your regen. You always want to have some kind of regen available so you don't fall too low in HP, because when you do, you cannot go for last hits anymore. They always threaten the kill on you. So staying healthy helps you last hit a lot, because then they cannot threaten the kill on you. So I'm in this game trying to get the block again, get it to my high ground, and then take it from there. Just last hit, deny, focus on the last hits and denies. That's pretty much whole game plan for me for the first couple minutes. Until later, as a Tiny, once you start getting levels, you get your bottle and your boots. Like as you can see, I'm rushing the bottle because I really want to get it fast, get the extra regen, so I can spam my spells and stay healthy on the lane. So after you get the bottle, after you get the boots, as a Tiny, you can start becoming the aggressor. Once you get level 4, you can start threatening the kill. Like if you cannot sustain the lane, otherwise you can start threatening, like trying to kill the enemy. And yeah, because usually keeping the lane static is bad for you. So setting up for a kill, I mean, it's a lot about you have to calculate your damage, obviously, like, and you have to calculate the risk and the reward. If this is gonna backfire, what if I end up he ends up surviving a little bit and then he turns on me. But always setting up the kill, you wanna first of all get some harass on the enemy, like keep playing aggressive on him while you can, and then force out the mistakes from them. Like you're not gonna get kills unless you somehow force mistakes out of the enemy. And I mean, it happens all the time. Nobody's perfect, and in pro games it happens all the time. Also, the enemy, you force mistakes out of them, and that way you make the kills happen. Like you make them half HP, then you they keep laning with half HP because they're greedy, and then you just like another combo, whoop, and they're dead. Like suddenly you bring your boots, and you're much faster than them, and then you actually can catch and get the kills. It's a long process to get a kill. Like you can't just like go, oh, no, I'm just gonna kill this guy. It's about setting it up for a long time, like getting a lot of harass in like 2 minutes in before it, getting a lot of harass on him so he is a lower HP. And of course also like going for the 4-minute runes. This usually what gets you the kills are the runes, because if you get a DD, haste rune, something like this, then it's very easy to get kills on them. So trading, some games, even though you feel like, I mean, as a Tiny, usually if you trade with the enemy, you will lose with the trading because you have 0 armor, you have very low attack time, you are melee hero on top of that. So trading is very inefficient most games. But there's a chance that when you trade with the enemy, even though you fall low in HP, you get them to half HP, and then you can start threatening the kill. Even though you're very low HP, he's just half, you can start threatening the kill. Then, even though the trading is inefficient, it can turn into your favor because of the kill potential, and they cannot stay on lane. So you can see here, I get the 4-minute rune, I get a haste rune, lucky of me, then I get a kill on him. Very simple. It's all because I went for the rune, I got lucky with the rune. It just happens with Dota. Sometimes you get lucky. So, I mean, of course trading is very different for like whatever hero you play. Like sometimes if you play, like I play Earth Spirit mid, if you start trading too much and you have to end up using money on regen, and you fall behind on the lane because of that, you don't have much gold, there's really no way for you to come back in the game because the hero doesn't farm jungle at all, and it's very difficult to get money on the map after that if you fail in the laning phase and trade too much and use too much in the regen. So you have to be very mindful of the kind of hero you're playing. If trading is okay, if it's okay if I don't get much out of the lane, but like for example, if you play TA, like maybe trading on the lane is okay because if you're playing against Earth Spirit as a TA, for example. So if you're even on the lane, probably the TA is gonna be like, I mean, it's okay. Like the Earth Spirit is really shut down. He's level 5 at 7 minutes. He doesn't have any farm. So TA is just gonna go to jungle, and then push the wave and go to jungle, and the Earth Spirit cannot really do much about it. And he's gonna catch up really fast, and the Earth Spirit really has no way of getting back in the game other than getting some kills going, and it's very desperate for him. When TA, it's just like, for TA it's good. So you have to really be mindful of like what kind of hero you're playing, if trading is okay or not, or if you want to just maximize on the lane. Of course, depending on what kind of hero you play and what they're playing, sometimes it's okay to like you want to keep buying regen almost always. If you end up running out of regen, you always want to buy more so you can stay in the lane and keep playing the lane and don't give them the chance to start free farming. And like you have to keep in mind, and when you buy regen and keep harassing them, also they have to buy regen and they have to use money on the regen all the time. So it's very important to always look at how do you like as a mid laner, you always want to be annoying to the enemy team. Like how are you the most annoying? Like for me, like probably this Tiny, I'm just gonna keep spamming my combo on the storm and keep buying mangoes or get the fast bottle, keep regening, then keep spamming it again and again. So he doesn't feel happy. He doesn't get to free farm. He doesn't get to get the wave and go to jungle and maximize. So it's very important almost always when you're trying to be the aggressor to keep staying healthy and always buy more regen if you need to, so you can keep up the aggression. So I'm in this lane. The idea so far has been about just getting last hits. That's my whole idea so far. So now it's gonna start to turn. I hit level 4, I have level 2 avalanche, I'm gonna have level 1 toss, and I'm gonna get my boots. So now my hero starts to be very strong. I have a lot of damage, and I'm gonna start having kill potential on the storm. So probably you can always see I try to hit him already. I start to get hits on him, spam my spells on him, make him low. In case he doesn't bring more regen, sometimes they don't, they're greedy, then they just actually end up dying once I get my boots. But here, so you can see he's already low. He had a salve ready, but I was ready to pop it right away. So that was very good. He's still staying low HP. I'm already looking at the kill. It's the only thing I'm looking at right now, trying to get a kill on him. And I'm just like looking for the opportunity. I have boots on him. I try for it. I mean, it was close call. I almost got it, but ended up not getting it. So I tried even more, but it didn't work. So I mean, now I used everything I have, and I have no regen left. And in some situations, this can be very, very dangerous, because if the enemy had salve ready and more regen ready, this would be very bad for me, because I have nothing left, and he can come back to the lane with more regen and then start dominating it. And also, it's just about the rune time. So I scanned for the rune, that he was going for the top rune or not, and he wasn't going for it, so I was already running for the bottom rune. But then he ended up spawning top. So this situation didn't end up backfiring for me, because he didn't have extra regen to use, and I ended up getting the rune and still ended up getting the kill on him. And now he used a lot of money on regen. He still died, so this is very, very bad for the storm. So now I'm hitting level 6, and the runes are about to spawn. So this very crucial timing for Tiny. I'm even holding my skill point. I'm not taking ulti yet, because I might need level 2 toss to get some extra damage on the kills. So going for the runes, very, very important. Always as a Tiny, you go for the runes, no matter what. And yeah, get the bottle full. The wave is pushing, obviously I have to defend. It's very obvious I'm missing right now. Probably they're calling, yo, he's ganking bottom. He's not showing mid, so I gotta show. Then it's just about pushing the wave in as fast as you can, and then start moving on the map again. And rune about to spawn, so probably I'm waiting for the rune, see what I can get. As a Tiny, it's all about rune timings, really. Like, you try to get all the runes you can, then if you get a good rune, it's very easy to get kills on the map. This time I got an illusion rune. not the best rune for Tiny. Like, you don't really get kill potential with this rune. The only thing you get is a couple illusions. You can do some cute things with them, but other than that, they don't offer that much. So here, I'm pushing my advantage on him. He's low HP, there's no way he can get these creeps for free. There's a full wave, I'm not gonna give it to him for free. So here you can see something you can do with the illusions. And this is very, very cool because when you push the wave mid, they don't know exactly that you're gonna be ganking bottom because you could be farming their jungle or going back to your jungle and farming. But if it's pushing to your tower, then it's pretty obvious what they're doing. But here they don't know, so I end up getting very, very big kills here because I push the mid wave in and just make a quick rotation. And then what I do with the illusion runes, I stack up some waves so I don't fall behind on farm either. So there's always some cute plays you can make with illusion runes, so people can keep that in mind. So also, as you can see, once I get the kills bottom, we still have the siege creep alive, which is 7 minutes in. It's kind of weird that it's still alive, but that's very good for us. So we end up also getting the tower. So this rotation was perfect. We got 2 kills, we got the tower, I didn't lose anything. They didn't get anything out of it. I get all the mid creeps also, and yeah, I end up being really farmed this game. I'm already 1000 ahead of anybody, and then it's just the game is very easy from this point. Like, I'm super farmed, nobody can survive my combo. So yeah, I mean, summarizing things, like always, as a mid laner, going into a game, you're gonna have a rough idea about the matchup. Like this game, Invoker against more, I don't want to go Quasvex because Quasvex is all about harassing the guy. So, like for example, you always have to think about like what is it that is my strength on this lane? What is it that makes me stronger than him on the lane? Or if I'm not stronger, what is it that I can do to get most out of it, even though I'm weaker? So that's something you always have to think about, and it comes with experience. And once you play the lane enough, and then yeah, it's just very important to always have this thought process in your head before you go into the game. So you have a rough idea how do you play the matchups.